Shout. Always Irish. Shout. Always Irish. Shout. Sometimes it's good to just yell about football. What are you doing? Don't do this to me, Harry! The Ohio State. It's Ohio State! What do you mean, the? It's a poison. I almost stroked out and died over it. I'm glad to be at the party. I'm mad we're this late. You ain't a captain of nothing but a sinking ship. That helps the defense without them even doing a damn thing. Doing a damn thing. The call-in line. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all you've heard and seen. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Oh, Irish. Irish. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Are y'all still hungover from your Thanksgiving stuffing? Welcome in. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be a weird one today. We're after the holidays. Some people have to work. Most don't, but they have family stuff going on. They're traveling. Grandma's still in town. Whatever it is, I'm glad to be with whoever could be here today. Glad to be with whoever could be here today. I don't expect you, if you got the whole family still in town for Thanksgiving, put John on the TV. If you want to clear out your house, if you want to clear out your house of unwanted Thanksgiving guests, crank this baby up, put it on the big screen. Grandma will be heading for the airport, I promise. We got a big weekend to finish the regular season of college football. It's just a damn shame my team ain't a part of it. It's bugging me. I'm sorry, you guys. It's just hard for me to see all this excitement building to the postseason and all the big games going on today and tomorrow and all that. And then here I am on the Pac-12 network with 4 people in the house for our game. It's just not... This isn't where we should be. And it's just disappointing. And Notre Dame fans are struggling to process that. I said it all last week. I'm going to say it now. You should be... the excitement with your fan base and what's going on and what the postseason be, it should be hitting the upslope right now. That's what it should be. That excitement and all that should be reaching a crescendo high point, catapulting you into the postseason. And here we are, and half the fans are dressed for a funeral. It's just not ideal. That being said, Notre Dame's got a game to win. Notre Dame's got a game to win, and you got to win it. Everybody's mad about 3 losses. Try 4 on for size. That's the thing. It's like, oh, nobody cares about this game. Whatever. It's on the dumb TV channel. Nobody gets and all that. I'm right there with you. But all the people saying whatever with this game are going to be the first ones bitching if they lose it. And I know I'm a part of it. So anybody saying, oh, whatever, this game, the season's mostly over and all that, I'm telling you, bro, fine. But if we lose this game, all those people are going to be mad. So you kind of don't get to say you don't care until we lose. You kind of got to care. You kind of got to care. So thank you for being here. I got a phone call. I'm going to get you in early, caller. Today's going to be a weird day. People are all over. The numbers aren't going to be the same. Everybody's out of their routine. So we're going to do it a little different today. Okay, we're going to do it a little. I'm telling you this right now, Ohio podcast. There's a lot of pressure on you guys. Ohio podcast. I was going to email you. There's a lot riding on this. You got to get it done. Your boy born on third base. I don't care what base he's on. Win the game. I don't care where he was born. I don't care what base he's standing on. I don't care if Ryan Day wants to fight my 86-year-old geriatric miniature coach. I don't care. tomorrow. Win the game. Win the game. America needs Ohio State to do what James the loser Skanklin couldn't do. Win a big game and knock these clowns out. And then let the NCAA follow up and hit them and all that. That's what I need, Ohio podcast. Get it done. I need it. I don't want it. I need it. That's a difference. There's a lot of things John wants. I need this. Okay? America needs this. I know I'm being a hyperbolist, which is what I tend to do, but I'm not bullshitting ya. We need it. Win the game. Before I hit live, I was thinking, man, this is going to be a chilled out episode. The day after Thanksgiving, kind of a mixed crowd. Now look at me. 6 minutes in, I'm off to the races, baby. It's off to the races. Oh, yeah, the introduction. Let's get into that. Well, I went off the path of my diatribe. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe. Appreciate that very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny Boy out. Notifications that way you alerted every time a new episode drops. I know you don't want to miss it. Twitter, search for Always Irish Rat. Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want it. You can get it to Cowlin Lines. 312-988-15. You tell Johnny all the Thanksgiving turkeys you heard and seen. Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Always Irish Inc. USA Today, Fighting Irish Wire. Read all about it. Patreon.com/Always Irish. My partner, you might have heard of him. Former Notre Dame captain, led the damn team in tackles for Pete's Dragon. Mike Goolsby, telling you, the interviews. That's where you're going to get your value out of that Patreon. We both do a lot of public YouTube behind that paywall. We got all sorts of interviews. James Flanagan, that interview's been up on Patreon. Just early in the wee hours of the morning, I posted our interview with Ty Isaac, former 5-star running back recruit, almost went to Notre Dame twice, ended up at USC, transferred over to Michigan. So we covered everything, the recruiting process, Notre Dame, what Jim Harbaugh's really like, Connor Stallions, USC's culture. We covered it all. So be sure to go there. These are interviews you're not getting anywhere else. Appreciate that very much. Also, very happy to represent our sponsor here, the NDSubwayAlumni.com. Again, I'll tell you guys what I've been saying. Very special to me, what the Subway alums mean to Notre Dame. Notre Dame is not the national worldwide brand that it would be without this group representing us everywhere. We got the Lewski. It is a shot ski for your tailgate. I'm getting one of these for our tailgates from now on. That is a perfect picture opportunity at all the tailgates we do for blue and gold. And then the games, it's a shot ski, but it's Lou Holtz shot ski. It's a Lou ski. 25% off for the Black Friday in honor. Oh, is that random? 25, nice round number? Hell no, it's not random. That's the Rocket, baby. That's the Rocket. And I can hear Tony Roberts' voice now at the big house in 89. Bye-bye, Rocket. Oh, I love it. 25% off. Promo code LUSKIBF. That is the promo code. Really appreciate everybody checking that out. Really nice guys over there. Really happy to be involved. All right, let me get caught up with the chats, and then I'll go to the first caller here, 618. Eric, $20 holler. Appreciate it, man. You just paid for some phone lines for after the Stanford game at 1 a.m., and we're all reliving the excitement and the exhilaration of Notre Dame's trip to Palo Alto. It just makes me sad. It hurts my little leprechaun heart that we don't got no juice, man. There ain't no juice. Let's just shoot straight. There ain't no juice on this one, man. The juice is not loose. And it's just not how it's supposed to be. And everybody's frustrated and they're upset. And all these other teams are playing meaningful game and you feel like no matter what happens, it ain't going to change much. All things could do is get worse. That's the way I'm looking at it. If you win and you put up a bunch of points and the defense plays good, well, that's what I expect you to do. And it doesn't move the needle. To me, the only thing that can happen is you can go down. You can't let that happen. Sleepy old Palo Alto style, bro. I'm not here for that. I can't go for that. Can't go for that. I saw that they were suing each other, that Hall and Oates, they're suing each other, and one of them suing the other guy has a restraining order or something. And for those of you old enough to remember who Hall and Oates are, and they were like, they put, John, one of them suing the other one, and I just quote tweeted and put, that's a shame. I can't go for that. See what I did there? Anybody old is going to know what I mean. Anybody old's going to know what I mean. Oh, man, that's funny. All right, I got to do a couple of these chats. You guys freak me out in a good way. Like sometimes you put comments up and I'm waiting for the show to go getting organized. I see your comments and I go, shit, this guy's in my head. And then it made me think it kind of all makes sense because if you watch my show every day or I'm in your Notre Dame media rotation, it kind of makes sense that you think of things the way I do. That's probably why you're here. Like there's some people who watch just to hate and disagree, but most of you, it's because you probably see Notre Dame similarly to the way I do. So when I shouldn't be as surprised when I see you guys nailing it. Let me get through a couple of these chats to get caught up, and then we'll go to the call, see what's up this morning. Oh, Eric's in the office, prelim and a trial coming up. Man, that's some hard work getting in there a day after Thanksgiving. Probably, I don't know, maybe lawyers work at a different pace. Might have the office to yourself. I don't know. Eric says the Stanford game scares me. Indy's proven they suck on the road. That's an undisputable fact, and I hate it, but it's a fact. This could be a dogfight all tomorrow, or Indy could pull off another wake. I suspect it's a dogfight in Indy fashion. If I had to pick the most likely path for tomorrow night's Notre Dame game, it would be sleepy old Palo Alto, cobwebs in the seats instead of people. Not even everybody could see it on TV. Travel out to California. I would get them. If I had to bet money on what this would look like, what I think is most likely, sleepy start. They're really bad. You end up winning by a few scores, but it's a sleepy start, and it's just a little frustrating. But then Notre Dame cracks it open, wins by 3 scores eventually. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But I am supremely intrigued to see the energy level out of the gate from Notre Dame in this environment against a bad team, nothing national on the line, last game of the year. I want to see that buy-in. I want to see that energy level. I want to see young guys wanting to get out there. I want to see all that. A lot of the fans are kind of emotionally checked out right now. Those guys can't be. I'm going to repeat. A lot of the fans are emotionally checked out now after this roller coaster year. These guys can't be. They have an obligation to be more engaged than the fans. Fans are fickle by nature. The fans are pulling off the reins of the emotions here. The team can't. You got to go in there and win this game. I said it a million times. You think people are mad with 3 losses? Try 4 on for size. Come on. Eric, one last thing. I signed up with Fubo TV to watch the game tomorrow. Just cancel within 7 days. You won't be charged for anything. Yep. That's the deal. A lot of people are going to do that. Nikki Dean, it's good to see you, man. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Man, I don't know why, but this game makes me nervous. I know why. Every game Notre Dame plays makes me nervous. How about that for an answer? Every game Notre Dame plays makes me nervous. You know why? Because I never know what I'm going to get. I just never know what I'm going to get. I can never rely on a baseline level of play. It's just too all over the map. I never know what I'm going to get out of these guys. And so every week you're just like, you're kind of like, shit, let's see what we're going to get today. I don't know. And you just hope it looks put together. And you hope it's not one of those weeks where every play seems to be one of our guys running into a wall of 9 of the other and we punt. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Look at last year. Look at Indy on the road this year. Indy could sleepwalk the whole game tomorrow and lose. It can't be, man. It can't be. Sly Whalen. Well, guys, 9-3, 8-4. Not much difference. Not going to get my blood pressure up for this no meaning game. Again, it's easy to say 9-3, 8-4 in a bowl game would probably be the same or whatever. You guys, you're saying that now, but if it's 4, you're going to blow your stack. I can't say I don't care because I'm going to be the first one to lose my mind if Notre Dame sleepwalks and that stupid half-ass Christmas tree having mascot beats us. That is the ugliest thing in the world. How does anybody know this story? You got all these geniuses that run Silicon Valley and all these tech people, all these geniuses that come out of Stanford and the best. All those smart people in the money and the best mascot they could come up with is a half-ass, sorry-looking Christmas tree with shit hanging off of it. Do better. I don't know. Come on. That tree's ugly. It'd be better if it was just a tree, but it has the crap hanging off it. I don't understand that stupid thing. Then again, I don't have a brain for Stanford, so maybe it's built for me not to understand it. I don't have the brain length. Mark with glasses. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Having to worry about a 3-8 team when we have a top 10 defense sums up the sad fate of a state of affairs in this program at the very moment. Momentum and vibes are on life support. Listen, it ain't really the fans' fault. Like, that's the other thing. I can't go, we need better fans. You can't. I say this all the time, too. You cannot manufacture a set of emotions that isn't naturally there. You can take some emotion that is there and find ways to pour gas on it and amplify it. You could do that, but you got to have that spark before you even worry about the accelerant to it. There ain't even that spark with the fans. There ain't. There's not. And that's just the way it is when you lose 3 games in Notre Dame. That's just not good enough, not what people wanted for the year. So, but I'm not going to say, this doesn't matter, because if we lose, I'm going to be the first one losing my mind. So I can't say that. But I do admit there is no excitement and nobody's even talking about the game. Nobody's really talking about it on Twitter. They ain't. They're not. It's a weird spot to be. Steven Arado, what's going on? Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. Finish strong. Estime runs wild, 41-10. By the way, Estime's getting screwed over, not being up. I'm glad you brought that up, Steven. He's getting screwed over, not even being up for consideration for the Doak Walker Award for Best Running Back. He ain't even on the nominees list. He isn't even on the nominee list at all. I don't understand. I don't get what these people are all looking at when they're doing this kind of thing. Or is it just they got 3 losses, this dude's out? I don't know. But I will say this. Number 1, that group is stupid. That's true. Here's number 2, though. Both of these can exist at the exact same moment in time. Notre Dame could have showcased him a lot better. Both of those are true. I'm not blaming Notre Dame. He has done enough. He deserves to be on that list. And that is a knock against whatever committee group is picking these potential finalists for the award. But there's also no doubt to me, Notre Dame could have used him better and showcased him better this year than they did. So that's kind of on them. But ultimately, it's a joke that he's not in the mix for that. An absolute joke. Adam Dowling, good morning. Tell your wife I said hello. I got to get out there and have a couple drinks with you guys, Adam. We've been stressing out so much when this season gets over. I got to come over that border to Northwest Indiana and we got to crack some lids or something. Go to the lighthouse for dinner. We got to do something. Steven, 5-6, 8-4, 12-0. Holt's first 3 seasons at Notre Dame. Statistically, all Notre Dame fans are aware of the history. Year 3 tends to be a big year for Notre Dame coaches. I don't know why. I don't know if that's specifically Notre Dame. I don't know if that is random circumstance and happenstance over the years. Or if there's something to it. Year 1, you get in there, figure out what the hell you have going on. Year 2, you start making all the corrections and the adjustments and all those pivots. And then by year 3, you got it running. I don't know. Yes, Holtz trended up. Freeman trending in terrible. I'm not going to say terrible, but it ain't what you wanted. I'm not going to say terrible, but it ain't what you wanted. But I'm not going to go terrible. Mark with glasses. Beat sorry-ass Stanford. Win a bowl game could be damage control on a second straight up and down season. Yeah, that's the best you could do. That's all you could do. And again, a lot of this narrative is going to fully depend on who you get in that bowl game, what that matchup looks like. Are you getting Swamp Thing? Are you getting something else? There could be or could not be heat for this bowl game and some juice. Depends who it's going to be against. Philly special. What's going on, man? Tell the family we said what's going on. The Nature Boy. Go Dogs. Woo! Except I got beef with the Nature Boy, man. He's fully in Michigan's corner. Did you see him visiting Michigan? He's on Twitter. They're going after my guys and all that, and he's walking around Schembechler Hall. It makes me mad because I want to like the Nate, but when he's doing all that, you're on my shit list, Nate. He's good at being a villain. Maybe he fits right in over at Michigan. He's good at being a villain, being that heel. So I don't know. Steven says when Indy wins tomorrow night in the bowl game, it's 10-3. That's trending up. You could tell you, yeah, you could make that work. I think you could make that work, and we would feel better the night of that 10-3 with the 10th win, getting it and all that than we do now. It's still just not where you wanted to be, Brandon. Good to see you, Brandon. I've been following you on Twitter. You're getting all settled in Georgia, outside Atlanta, I believe. I've been seeing you hitting the city, seeing some new wildlife you don't get in Indiana. Keep your head on a swivel in the woods out there in Georgia. I don't know what you're going to get. Was thinking about going to Georgia Tech tomorrow night, but the same time as the Irish. So that threw it out the window. Can't you record the Notre Dame game and then go watch Georgia's athletes run around? That might be fun. Nikki Dean, hey, John, how were your Thanksgiving chicken tenders? Hey, I had traditional fare. I had a hunk of turkey, mashed potatoes. I even had some good gravy on there and a bunch of rolls. And I had like some chocolate pie or something for dinner. That's all I need, or for dessert. That's all I need. I don't need anything else fancy. I don't need a bunch of weird stuff. The infatuation this country has with stuffing, I don't understand. I don't like my bread soggy. It's a pet peeve. You get an Italian beef, I want that shit dry. I don't want my buns all mushy and soggy and then it's just like melts in your mouth. That's not bread at that point. That's something you give your 108-year-old grandma to get down her gullet on the way out. So I don't understand some of this stuffing and all this stuff in there. I don't do all that. I don't need that. I don't need it. Steven says, I don't really talk to my family, so we're good to go. I don't know whether that's good or bad. I'm just glad you're here. Phil says the Pac-12 network's a damn joke. It is. Well, Phil, literally the Pac-12 network is such a joke. It's shutting down the minute our game's over. Like, this is one of those where like a Notre Dame fan says something that's like hyperbole. It's literally a fact. It is such a joke that the network's shutting down completely forever the minute our game ends. Homer TD, good morning, John. Always here, always Irish. Indeed, my friend. I hope you and the family were able to have a relaxing Thanksgiving. I don't know if all of you were able to get together or not all of you, but I hope you were able to have a good, you'll know what I mean there. I hope you guys were able to get together as a family. Going to the phone lines, I got a couple of them. E. Davis, not as much fun being out of the conversation in November, is it? Dare I ask, were we spoiled by Kelly? It depends on your expectation level. That's actually a very good question. Depends on your expectation level in hopes for Notre Dame. I'm fully convinced Kelly reached his ceiling in Notre Dame and it was never going to change. And I'm calmly, this isn't like an emotional Kelly rant. I'm calmly saying what I think. He needed to change the way he operates and the way he recruits to change the possibility of outcomes he could achieve at Notre Dame. That wasn't going to happen. He wasn't going to do it. He had a standoff with the administration and they wanted things to him. He wanted things to them. Kelly was not changing the way he operated. Therefore, I'm 100% confident and comfortable saying the level he was at on the high end, that was it. That was it. 10, 11, 12 years. How many years you have to see him operate to know he wasn't changing the way he operated? That was the level. Maybe undefeated, but like then you have no chance in the playoff, 11-1, whatever. Like high-level results, but not enough to ever get over the hump and win a playoff game. So here's how I look at this. You are giving up that bottom 10, 11 win ceiling or whatever, but you know you are never going to win anything that you really care about at the end of that. Now you have more instability with Freeman, but I could see paths where it could actually end up with a higher ceiling down the road if you make the right decisions, recruit and develop right. There's a higher ceiling here with Freeman on the high end, but more instability, and we're riding through that wave of instability presently. So that's tricky to answer, but it all depends how you thought about Kelly. I'm convinced he was never going to do anything higher than what he already did in Notre Dame. And that means you're not winning a major bowl game that matters. So then I ask, how much do 10, 11, and 12 wins matter if I know you're never going to win the big one and win a playoff game? So I don't know. You could see what Freeman's building towards. It's just it's turned out it's a lot harder to get over to that side of the bridge than we wanted. So I don't know. Oh man. Yeah, people are mad about the Doak Walker. That's just ridiculous. Crazy boy, let's go blue baby. Come on. Yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. They're like taking shots in the chat at Ohio State's fans. Yeah, I understand. I'm with you. That goes out the window tomorrow. The Michigan thing to me crosses all those lines. Trust me, I didn't have a bunch of Ohio State people over for Thanksgiving either. I'm not acting like they're my best friends, but it's by far the lesser of two evils tomorrow at 11 a.m. Ryan Day, I don't care what base you were born on, home base. I don't care. Win the damn game. Win the game. You cannot be Ryan Day and then lose your third in a row to Michigan with all this stuff going on. And Jim Harbaugh's not even there. He's probably residing on whatever planet he initiated from during this game. You can't lose with that guy out in Jupiter somewhere and living in Mars. You can't do it. Can't do it. Adam Dowling, this was never a quick fix. Freeman's flipping the entire roster. Give him another recruiting class. That's the way it's going. That's the way it's going. If Ryan Day shits the bed and goes 1-3 versus Michigan, I hope Lou comes out and asks where the hell he is. Oh, Lou. It's so funny, man. He's just somebody's weak, old, 86-year-old grandpa. The concept. Like, I wish you could pull people have no concept of like our college football culture, maybe like Europeans or something, where they don't understand or value college football, and dump them in the scenario to just see Ryan Day yelling, like big in his prime, like Ryan Day yelling about going after an 86-year-old frail little old man, and just see how that comes off to people who don't have any concept of like the structure of this and why it is what it is, and drop somebody in to just see Ryan Day wanting to find this guy. And then they zoom over to who he's trying to find. And it's this little weak 86-year-old with this little Irish pipe at the Holtz's Heroes golf tournament. You know what I'm saying? Oh, God, that's funny to me. Kent, now's your time, man. You've been running your trap, laughing at us all year. Now it's your time to deliver, Kent. I'll enjoy today, but 12 a.m. tonight, it's all business. No excuses, no ifs or buts. Get the effing job done. Simply said, Kent, America needs it. America needs, you can't. We do. We need it. Oh, man. Good morning, Deborah. Good to see you. The Nate, crazy boy. Everybody bring back Charlie Weiss. Yeah, Charlie Weiss Jr. to run the offense. There you go. You like how I did that? Bring it full circle, baby. Bring back Weiss Jr. Let him draw up a real offense. Oh, John, we don't have the personnel to run what they want to run. Well, then maybe consider getting some more athletic personnel, I guess. That's the other thing. Whenever you bring up an exciting offense, then all these people that are X's and O's expert, that's unrealistic because Notre Dame doesn't have the personnel to run that kind of. Well, then, bro, maybe you should look at getting some different dudes. Because I'm bringing up the offenses that are winning games and actually like score a bunch of points against good teams. It hurts my feelings. You're looking at almost a 40-point scoring average, and none of them come against the good teams, man. It's enough to make the rest of my airline melt off my carcass. It's a killer, man. And you could shape that narrative if you want. John, it's going to be, 38, 39, 40-point average probably is what we're ending up with. Record-breaking for Notre Dame. You got to like that. But you couldn't get any offense against the better teams you played, and I can't get over it. That's the name of the game. That's called succeeding in big-time college football, playing a real-ass defense and you having a real-ass offense that can make moves against a real-ass defense. We do not have that. We do not have that, and it hurts me very much. Hurts me very much. It just does. Michigan's winning even without Arbaugh. I'm telling you, man. Ohio State's going to be down bad. You can't have that happen. Notre Dame, what's going on? Last weekend of our regular season, nothing to play for. Sucks more than it sounds. Kind of, yeah. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, am I, like, when you say that, then am I in the position that I have to be obligatorily, like, every game matters and do that thing? And I already said 4 losses worse than 3. But when you say nothing to play for, I get what you mean nationally. That's all I care about for Notre Dame is national respect. It ain't about making me and you happy, the little Notre Dame fan. No. I need Notre Dame respected nationally for being good at football. National. I need people to go, damn it, I hate Notre Dame, but they're freaking good, and I hate it. That's what I need. I know all those people aren't going to just start loving Notre Dame. I'm not asking for that. I need them to go, man, I hate those guys, but damn it, they're good. That's what I need. That's what the Notre Dame, that's what we need it to be. Bobby O, ND will be playing in front of about 1,000 people, 800 ND fans. Yeah, there ain't going to be anybody there. It's going to be sad. Steven Arado, this game will be a blowout. I see Notre Dame winning by a lot. It might take some time to get there. I don't know. I just see that. They're 3-8. They're not good at football. They're 3-8. You don't even have the shot. I don't even have the smirk there to get mad at. I don't even have David Shaw's little smart-ass grin to get mad at. There's no juice. There's no juice, man. Every game Notre Dame plays makes me nervous. Wellington, yeah, I get it. Mike says that's how I feel tuning into this channel. You never know what you're going to get. I like to keep you on edge. Baylor, man, we don't get a lot of Baylor action in these parts. I'd love to see Notre Dame match up with LSU. If y'all face Kelly, I would totally be here for it. I want to face LSU and Kelly, but in my mind, it was a vision of who's elite, who's taking their new program to the next level, who's winning a playoff game. I wanted this matchup, but I wanted it to be good on good, not mid on mid. That's my issue with that matchup is it ain't with elite on the line. It's who has 3 losses, who has 4. That doesn't fire me up inside. So I would hate to see the first iteration of that matchup be in a non-playoff type dynamic. I really envision it being who gets to say they're elite at their new place. That ain't going to be it. That ain't going to be it. Sloppy Joe, we actually do know. They're going to annihilate the bad teams and have a toss-up game against the good teams. The combined win-loss record for the teams ND has lost to is 28-5. Yeah? Yep. You got to beat the good teams. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. Connor, what's going on? Most stupid mascot in sports. It's stupid tree. I hate that dumbass tree. It's just like all these smart people. You couldn't come up with anything better than that. Nothing. You couldn't do anything. In this 12-team playoff format, Indy doesn't even make the playoffs the last 2 years. Freeman took over a playoff team. Where are we going? I disagree that he took over a playoff team. They weren't in the playoff the year before. There were holes all over that team that you knew were going to come back to burn us and have to be reckoned with. When you whiff at wide receiver as much as Notre Dame did, to the extent Notre Dame did for as many years as Notre Dame did, that doesn't hurt you in that moment. That hurts you 2 years down the road when your older guys graduate and then you hit the meat of when that age group is expected to play and you have nobody to pull from. Like there were indicators here this was going to be an issue and you could see it coming. It ain't in that last year. It's not the first year. It's when everything clears out another class. Then you hit the part where that horrible recruiting development period should be where your main guys are giving you production. That's where we're at. That's one example. It's just rough. But I disagree that he inherited a playoff team. He didn't. They weren't one when he got the job. So I disagree with that. Should it be better than the first year, 8-4? Absolutely. But there's a big gap between being better and playoff level to me. And again, take the wide receiver stuff out of it. I can't say they inherited a playoff team when you had no reliable quarterback. Like when you're saying you inherited a playoff team, a part of that is I know I have an elite-ass quarterback. He inherited, I hope Tyler Buchner's good and doesn't get hurt. That is not my definition of inheriting a playoff team. Inheriting a playoff team means all those pieces are proven and in place. You didn't have that. Freeman's biggest hope was Buchner was good and stayed alive. He didn't do it. But if you're telling me he inherited a playoff team, that comes with a ready-made, proven playoff-level quarterback. You didn't have that. He didn't have that at all. Even if Buchner was healthy as a horse, you had no idea what you were going to get. That is not inheriting a playoff team. You need to know you have elite everywhere. You need to know it. All right, time for the phone calls. We're going 618, then I'm going 859. What's going on? What are you watching this weekend? What's going on? Happy Thanksgiving, man. Oh, no. He fell asleep again. Listen to him. My man, you might need to get one of them elephant trunk breathing devices or something. I can hear it, man. You got a little sleep apnea. I'm going to order you one of them for Christmas. One of them, you know what I mean? The thing with the elephant trunk and you breathe in it at night. Listen to him. God bless that man. He watches the show every day, but sometimes if I don't get to him on the calls, I pull him up and my man's out. He's totally out. I'm going to order him a sleep app machine for Christmas. 859, you're on the line. Let's see if Tim's awake. Are you awake?
Yeah, I'm awake, John.
Do you want to be? Do you want to be? Like, I don't know what's going on, man. Happy Thanksgiving, Tim.
Same to you. I want to ask these people, first of all, that still kind of support Brian Kelly. What did the man do? Point one, how many times did he lose the Navy? We had beaten him 67 years in a row. I know Charlie Weiss lost to him for the first time. He lost to Navy twice. He lost to Tulsa. Should I keep listing off a few more weak schools he lost to? He had 3 undefeated seasons. Yeah. However, what did he do when he got to the championship game? Got blown out. He was too damn lazy to recruit to the top level. What didn't he recruit and develop? A quarterback. Yeah. What do you need to win in college football? A quarterback. You pointed it out. Where else was he lazy? Wide receiver room. Didn't do anything there yet. Yet you're going to still sing that? And the only reason he got the success for the most part that he did, I think twofold. See if you agree with me. One, if you look at it, we played a watered-down schedule over that 12-year period compared to what we normally play. And 2, USC was a dumpster fire.
Yes.
Had USC been a powerhouse, he would have been fired after year 5 or 6 because he probably would have gone 1-5.
You're right. I agree. I've been saying all along, one of Kelly's biggest benefits in Notre Dame was his tenure overlap with USC being bad and kind of down and out. I get it though, Tim. Like, people are just frustrated and they're looking at the overall wins and losses. Think I am? I know, but you and I process it differently. But you and I process it differently. Some people are just looking at that win total and judging it off that. I'm looking at the nuance beyond that and where I think the future was going. And I knew that was the level for Brian Kelly at Notre Dame. I knew it. He knew it. And now he's in the swamp. Everybody knew it. It is what it was.
Well, we'll go back to that one. But what you and I both know about Freeman, he gives us hope. It would be like Dante with Kelly, abandon all hope who enter here.
Yeah.
Freeman gives us hope. He's going to put the work in. He gets Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Okay, he had an okay second year. It was not what we wanted. What happened? What were we missing? A quarterback. Everybody, and I was on board with this. Everybody thought Hartman would put us over the top. He just didn't do it. All right, we'll still win tonight or tomorrow. Hope to God we do.
Yeah.
And you get the 9 wins regular season. Not great, but not terrible.
Yeah.
And then I don't care if we can stick Brian Kelly. I know it would be nice when we're both tires. It's just like all the coaches I hate over the years. Those are causes of pain. But all the clowns at USC, Joe Paterno, Jimmy Johnson, and the boys. You hurt Notre Dame. I hate you as a coach. Hate you as a person.
Yeah.
I hate Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
And so if I can stick him in a bowl, I can smile. I'll have an enjoyable evening if we can beat that clown.
But the flip side is, what if he gets you? What if he runs us down? Then what, man?
No,
then what?
I'll make you a solemn promise. I will not call you that night because I would use every other word would be an inappropriate word.
Yeah.
If we lose to him, you're not going to want to be around me for a month.
Yeah. And so I don't know. He's got Texas A&M tomorrow, so that could be an interesting game. I know they have troubles, but I do know they have some athletes. I'm just kind of interested to see. I expect him to emerge victorious, but I want to see. Tim, what do you think about?
Oh, that's the other thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you one. I'll tell you one thing, and then I'll get back to you. Sorry if I cut you off. Did you say? I think I texted you this. Did you see what Penn State did?
What?
They extended Franklin.
Did they really? I did not see that. Did they really extend them? But if you're them, maybe they figure, Tim, what are we going to get better than winning 10 games a year and then losing the big game? Maybe they figure, what else are we going to get? They're in a weird spot, Tim.
Okay, well,
they're in a weird spot where they're like that second tier in the Big Ten, and they're just not going to get over the Michigan, Ohio State hump. They're just not going to do it. He's stuck in Brian Kelly land. Pretty damn good, but not over the top. I don't know.
Okay, what were you going to ask me?
What I was going to ask you is, you've seen a lot of Notre Dame football over the decades. You've seen a lot of Notre Dame trips out west late in the year, whether it be to USC, to LA, or to Palo Alto. What do you expect tomorrow night?
Including my favorite night of the year, 1988. That was one heck of a senior trip.
Oh man, I could only imagine the excitement of all that.
I guarantee you, the hotel we were staying in, John, they probably made $100,000 that night.
Oh man, I love it, dude. I want that experience. But you've seen a lot of these, and I'm wondering what you think the likely scenario is tomorrow night. It wouldn't surprise me if Notre Dame started out a little slow and then ended up running these guys down by 3 scores. That wouldn't surprise me at all. The place is going to be 98% empty. Like there's not going to be a lot of electricity. How are you thinking about this as we enter the ball game?
I'll say to him, on the place being empty, I'm not 100% sure on that because California and in that area has a lot of alumni clubs.
Yeah.
So it might not be totally empty.
So you're saying you're saying there might be people there, but they're not going to even be Stanford fans. They're going to be our people in green, right?
I would say it's probably going to be 60-40 or even 70-30 Notre Dame.
Are you talking about individual people? So like 100 total? Dude, it's going to be kind of depressing, Tim. You know what it's going to be. They're going to pan across the stadium, and there's all you see is open seats. That's not what Notre Dame's last game should be, damn it.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that, but you got to also put it from this standpoint. You're out there with cost of living and stuff, what it is now, traveling across. How often do you get to see Notre Dame? So it's a chance to maybe see him, and not if you don't get back to South Bend.
Yeah,
that's why I think there might be some people.
Yeah,
some
and
there.
If there's not many people, but at least the ones there are people, I could live with that. Make fun of that dumb shaggy Christmas tree or something. I'm all for it.
You know, for the dumbest time, I was, you're talking about that tree.
Yeah.
I thought when I kept hearing Cardinal, I thought it was the damn bird.
A bird. Yeah, I know. They got to be, it's not Cardinals.
I didn't realize it was the tree.
Yeah, it's not Cardinals.
It's
Cardinal. Yeah, there's no S. It's no plural. It's a cardinal, and the thing dances around all dumb. Somebody needs to light a spark under one of those branches or something. I don't know. It's
your
a
other
weird
point,
game.
You asked me. I think it'll start out slow, but I think we blow them out. And here's what helps us: the fact we lost to them last year. I would be a little bit more worried had we rolled them last year.
Yeah.
Then it might be more dicey. Now, if this thing gets dicey, oh good Lord.
Yeah, I know.
That's the last thing.
Yeah, I know. Now
no. Nobody needs that.
Stanford's high point of the year was the big comeback against Colorado. At the time, Colorado had 2 losses, was still getting some media heat, but nothing like the beginning of the year where they blew them up to be something they had no possibility to be for a media narrative. But they came back from 29-0 down at halftime to beat Colorado. That sticks out to me. It's in my mind that you have the ability to be down and out 29-0 and come back and win. But on the flip side, that's only because Colorado messed up and then played no defense, and Notre Dame's not going to do that. So I can't get that worried, Tim. They're 3-8. Come on, man, 3-8.
I agree. No, I agree with you. And by the way, on that Colorado game, because I didn't see it, I really didn't read it because I can't stand prime time. It's Florida State. What do you expect me to say?
Yeah.
If you like that school, you had examined. But did they get it? They weren't offensive drives that got them back in. Did Colorado turn the ball over a bunch of times and they got short fields, or did they get points off a turnover?
Yeah. It was a little bit of everything. And then Colorado was they played no defense and they were getting gashed. And all of a sudden, Stanford looked like the best offense in America, just running wild all over it was just a bad second half. And Colorado quit, man. They thought we're up 29-0. We could sleepwalk and win. They literally pulled off the accelerator and got caught. That's what happened.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When do you think go ahead,
Tim? Who do you want to win in the big game? Ohio State or Michigan?
Can I just abstain because I can't stomach either one?
Yeah, I know it's bad.
I know
isn't
you
it?
hate Michigan. I know you hate Michigan, but you got to understand. I live 2 hours outside of Columbus. Okay, and I have a very good friend that lives and dies Ohio State,
Yeah.
and that's all I'm going to have to listen to. So I just watch it just because I like sports, and I'll watch it. But realistically, it's like when Miami and Florida State used to play back in the late 80s and the 90s. The running joke would just blow up the stadium. And or when SC plays, unless it helps us. I get it.
You hope for the asteroid. That's what I always say. You hope for that random asteroid. Like, that's just the best you could do, man. I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting. There's a lot of juice there.
I'll tell you. I'll give you. Let's put it this way. Let's look at the college playoffs. The only team I can possibly stomach in this, but more than likely it's either going to be Georgia or Alabama. Strike one, please. The other one's either going to be Ohio State or Michigan. Strike two.
Yeah.
The only team that is possibly going to get in, I can stomach. Florida State more than likely will get in. Would be either Louisville or if Washington gets in. That's the only two that are bearable. What other team in that top six?
Hey, you know what?
Can you stomach?
I'm telling you this right now. I think that committee's out on Florida State. I think with their quarterback injured, I don't think they're looking at them the same. I don't think they're valuing the ACC. And it looks to me like they're maybe setting up a scenario where even if Florida State wins out, they might be the fifth team. I'm telling you, I think they saw that quarterback go down and they're like, I don't care that you're undefeated. You're not going to win a playoff game without that kid. I don't know if that's fair or not, but a part of me thinks that's what they're doing. I don't know.
I don't disagree, but can you imagine the backlash of that? If you put in a team with a loss and Florida State does run the table and win, they're a major conference, a Power 5 conference, and they're undefeated, and you don't put them in over a one loss, which you can, hell, you got two arguments they're going to put. There'll be three. They'll advocate Texas, the Michigan, Ohio State loser, or the loser of the Alabama
Georgia. Yeah. I don't, it's just whatever. It isn't going to change my life, this year. So I'll go with whatever. And so I don't know, Tim, time flies, man. It just seems like a week ago, it was August and we were looking forward to the season. And now we're the day before the end of it, man. It's a wild ride. Goes by quick.
Well, appreciate you taking the call. I thought I'd help you out, but I have one question for you before I let you go. Are you doing your pregame thing like you normally do?
I believe so. I got to get with Goolsby today, but I'm planning on, even if he's busy or something, I'm planning on doing that tomorrow. So we'll watch Michigan, Ohio State, and then we'll react to that and lead into our game, and we'll do the whole thing. Yeah.
That's the one you might want to have a few drinks just to drown out the season.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. It's been a long run.
Get through it.
It's been a long run.
And that's the other thing you might want to point out, too, with the quarterback getting you need it for practice and stuff. What I want is to bring a quarterback in, because I know it's going to be a topic down the line. Bring a quarterback in, not to start. I don't want to go that route, but you're going to need one in because somebody's going to possibly leave.
Yeah.
You can't get caught where you only have two quarterbacks on scholarship. You have to have four in the room.
Yeah. That's what they're going to that's what they're thinking about, too. Yeah. And so I don't know. These guys move around like never before. So you got to account for that. So I don't know. We'll see. That's going to be a big narrative right after this season ends. What clarification are we going to get on the OC? And then everybody's going to be worried about that quarterback. Those are going to be the two off-season primary things right away after the Stanford game people are going to want answers to. And I don't know how long it's going to take to get them or if we're going to like them, but that's the deal.
Well, look at it this way, and I'll say goodbye. Your show, I think it's December, I want to say 8th, that Monday after the bowls come out, could be quite interesting if it is LSU and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
That'll be a hell of a call. Your numbers will be high.
Let's
put it that way.
It's going to be interesting, man. Hey, thanks for giving me a call. Hope you had a relaxing Thanksgiving. Enjoy the football today and then enjoy everything tomorrow night. Okay, man?
All right. Take care, Joe.
Have a good one. I got a 614 and a 503 both coming up. I'm going to hit a couple more chats, then I'm going to get to those calls. Adam Dowling. John, aren't you excited for the Pop-Tarts Bowl, bro? Come on, man. Like, you just can't tell me Notre Dame's going to be in the Pop-Tart Bowl and expect me to take it serious or get excited. I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I don't do all of this. I didn't build this studio in my basement to talk about Notre Dame and the Pop-Tart Bowl. I didn't. My only goal of doing all of this is Notre Dame to be elite. That's it. That's my only goal. Notre Dame to be elite and get national respect. That's all I care about. I am not doing this to break down Notre Dame into Camping World Bowl or the Pop-Tart Bowl. What happens if you win? They dump a bunch of Pop-Tarts on your head. Every player gets their own little Pop-Tart and you open the tin foil and eat them in the locker room with your carrots. I don't know. I actually kind of agree with this. Stuffy and turkey's overrated, pushed by the media. I kind of agree with that. Turkey doesn't have a ton of flavor on its own. And I'm a guy with no taste buds. I eat boring, no flavor. I don't need any flavor to eat. And even I'm saying I feel like turkey doesn't have the flavor a lot of other meats have. Ham tends to have way more, like a juicier, more robust flavor than any turkey I've ever had. I don't know. Wait, John has a problem with dressing now? Isn't dressing like soggy little pieces of bread and all that mush up in that bird's guts? I don't do that. No, I ain't here for that. Something weird about it. Maybe it's like the concept that it just feels like what the turkey would dump out if you didn't kill it and it's all in there and it's just little random pieces of stuff. There's something that doesn't line up for me with the turkey. No Rocky Mountain oysters. That's hilarious. Good one. Good one. Rocky Mountain oysters. You think what do I look like? Some animal on the shore cracking open a shell, eating a slimy membrane out of the ditch? No. James Fulmer, thank you for a great season with your podcast. You carried us through. James, that means the world to me, man. Lot of 614-503 coming up. A lot of ups and downs, James. And we had I really appreciate this message. We had some really rough nights. We had some really rough nights here on this show. We had some post-game shows of absolute pain and misery and being distraught. And we got through it together, man. We ride or die on this thing together, but we're always going to be here. We're always going to be here. I had people recommending to me not to go live after the Ohio State game and to let it chill till the morning and go live. I couldn't do it. That's a bitch move. That's a bitch move. And I was not doing that, going, oh, I'm all about it. And then we lose an art break. And then I'm going to go to bed or not go live and face the music. That was one of the most miserable nights of my life since Bush Push, 18 years, I believe. But it was the right thing to do. So I appreciate, even when it's not fun, all of you that are here. At least we're sharing the misery together. Angela, good to see you. Always good to have a Rudiger here. Hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Rudy's Thanksgiving is there's 120 people because of how big the Rudiger family is. I don't know how you keep track of who's who. I don't. Dr. John, a high gang up late workout. Greeted with a 4-letter word on the ground. Dr. John, late workout. He's working off the wine he drank at the Thanksgiving dinner, I think. He and his basic sandwich and burger. That's all I need, man. Oh, John, you want a cheeseburger? Yes, I do. What do you want on it? Meat, bread, and cheese, bro. There ain't nothing else anyone ever needs on a burger. Meat, bread, cheese. Okay? I'd rather lose with Marcus than win with Kelly. There is some truth to that, just about the man himself. John likes his steak well done. I know I'm going to get killed for this. I want to just make sure my meat's cooked. And then that way I'm not getting sick off it or something. I'll eat a slightly pink steak or whatever, but medium well, that don't bother me at all. I'd rather it be brown and cooked through. A hunk of meat's a hunk of meat to me. It doesn't taste that much different, a little pink or browner. If I'm going to err one way or the other, I'm going to err on the side of making sure the meat's cooked so I'm not going to get the runs. Okay? It's just a health concern. I ain't worried about flavor at that point. Give me a break. 614 and 503 after that. 614. Happy Thanksgiving Day after. What's going on?
Hello, John. I'm an alum of Ohio State. I got introduced to your channel when we beat you guys on the final play of the game.
Oh, yeah. It was a long night for Johnny Boy. Long night for Johnny Boy.
It was amazing to see. You guys had it, but I started watching the channel a lot more, and I become a fan. I really like the show.
Thank you.
You guys had it, and I think heading into next year, you guys have a really, really great chance. As someone who's alone, I get to see a lot of different things. Do you think next year Marcus Freeman, because this season, before the season started, in NFL, they have like the preseason training camp and stuff, and fans are like to go watch the practices. Would you want Marcus Freeman to do that, or do you think they'll be opening up more can of worms and criticism?
If he did what now? I'm sorry, man. You're a little hard to hear. I don't know if you're on speaker or what you're doing. It's a little hard to hear everything.
So if you watch like the NFL, like you can go to the Chicago Bears preseason and you watch those guys practice. One thing that Ryan Day did this season, or heading into the season, was he allowed fans and boosters to come and watch the team practice, and during fall camp. Is that something you think Marcus Freeman should do? Or would it just open up a can of more criticism for him?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know what it could open up. I don't have a good answer on that one. Can I ask you, though, how are you feeling about tomorrow? How? This is off the charts, buddy. This is off the charts to me in terms of the juice and this game mattering. You guys got to get this one.
Last year, we said the same thing. You brother know last year, I think Ryan Day is coming from I'm not going to say as an alum, I would love for Ryan Day. I think he's a committed coach. But a lot of people are going to want to say if they don't win. I think all the pressure's on Ryan Day. There's 110,000 people that's going to be in that stadium.
Yeah.
No one's going to take that pressure. Harbaugh is not playing. You have to get this done. There's no excuses. The first year, they said it was snowing. Last year, you can argue the signs. This year, there's no excuses. We have nothing to point to. The weather is not going to be as cold as it was last year.
Yeah.
All the pressure's on Ryan Day. And I'm very nervous. It's hard to sleep. They really enjoy Thanksgiving. It's hard to enjoy Thanksgiving when you have this on the line after losing last year. But what's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah. Oh, man, this is a big one. Everybody in America is watching, buddy. This is a big one. You guys got to have it. You got to have it. Hey, man, anything else in your mind? I really appreciate you joining the show and all that. Appreciate it.
This is my last question. A lot of people don't like Team Up North. I would never say that their name.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like Ohio State. How do you guys, like, as someone who doesn't have a root interest in either team, how does America look at it? How do your callers look at it? Because I feel like there's not a lot of love for Ohio State, but there's not a lot of love for Team Up North either.
Me, Michigan is, I just have a lifetime vendetta against those people and it's never going to go away. And so I think it's just a matter of the lesser of two evils. Like, I'm not an Ohio State guy. I'm definitely not a Michigan guy, though. And with everything going on this year, I'm 100% for you guys. And I think most of America is. But it doesn't mean we love you. It means we hate them. Don't get it twisted.
Hey, okay, hold up. Will Ryan Day get fired if he loses the game?
No.
This is my final question.
No, you just can't. He wins too many other games. Like, they're not going to fire the guy who only loses one game a year. Like, you're not going to find anybody that could probably do better than that. It's just, it can't be that game that he loses. I get your frustration, but the guy has too good of a record overall to make that move. That's my opinion.
I'm not calling for his job, but 80% of Ohio State fans are going to call for his job.
Oh, they're going to lose their minds. They're going to, and the fact that Harbaugh's not even on the sidelines is going to kill him too. It's a bad perceptual look for you to drop that game when that guy's not even there. That's going to be a rough look.
Thank you. I love your channel, and What's your score prediction for tomorrow?
Oh, I haven't even thought of that. I don't have a score prediction. I want Ohio State to win. It wouldn't surprise me if it was a little lower scoring than what people are thinking. That wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know. I just need Ohio State to win. I haven't even thought about a score prediction. Trying to worry about picking one for Notre Dame. I don't know, man. It should be a good game, though.
Thank you. I hope you guys play LSU in the bowl game. That would be must-see TV on your channel.
Oh, man, that'd be must-see TV. Thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it. Dude, I feel bad because that guy was like a new angle of a person to talk to, but am I dreaming? I couldn't hear him that well. Am I going deaf, or was he like, seemed like he was 80 miles away, bro? 503, you're talking to me. What's going on? Hello.
Hey, how's it going, John? Can you hear me a little bit better?
You are crystal clear. You sound like you're right next to me. That guy sounded like he was on the other side of the earth. I don't know what happened. I got you crystal clear.
Yeah, he was definitely a little muffled. I want to first take the chance to say I am super thankful and grateful to have the opportunity to talk to you after stumbling upon your channel as not a Notre Dame hater, but someone who likes to see them lose to Ohio State, you know, and not someone who's actively rooting against them or whatnot. But I come on your channel and I absolutely love the passion and how you're going through it and everything. So I want to take that chance to thank you, my man. You're working your butt off and you're going through it. I appreciate you living it like a real fan.
I really appreciate that. And I appreciate just that you kind of seem like you have an idea of the work involved. Like it's not all just easy, hit record and everything. Just like there's a lot of work that goes into this. And I love doing it. And I love providing this outlet. It was needed, man. There was a gap in the media coverage and everybody just wants it to be about them. They're the expert. Let me tell you what I'm right about. And I know this. And here's my article. Here's my YouTube and all that. I thought
it's promotion. It's not even journalism.
Dude,
it's not covering.
This
247 site.
Man. But I thought if I could get a call-in line and open it up so just any Notre Dame fan could call, I knew it would get ugly at times. Like I knew it would be a rocky road sometimes, but I knew overall people would respond because people want to have their voice heard, whether I agree or disagree or they're right or wrong or I'm right or wrong. People just want to be involved and be heard. We give them a place for that here. It doesn't always go smooth, but I'm happy to be the one to offer it.
It's awesome you said that because that's everything. And I was just talking to, so my dad played at the University of Washington, won a Rose Bowl in the early 80s and an Orange Bowl on some really good teams with Don James. And then he was a recruiting coordinator at a couple spots, including Washington, Oregon State.
Oh, wow.
I grew up in it. Just as a rugrat on a field, you know, and I'm only 28 and I feel like I can remember everything since I was 3 and 4 years old going to the stadium and whatnot. But I do feel it was funny thinking about the parallels in the program because I saw some discussion about Washington and Oregon. And I want to let you know as you're hurting, and I know the content's hard to make then, because I feel the same way. There's a gap in Washington media or branding and whatnot that they don't get to educate people on and whatnot, that you've stepped in and done that hard work in. It's hard to do it when the results aren't there and all of that. But just remember, this Washington team lost at home to start the season 13-7 to Montana 2 years ago. And those 7 points came on the opening drive. As someone who was there and watched that whole game, there was nothing more painful and to a point where it was just nihilistic and cynical of just laughing like this is a joke.
Yeah.
But also where it got to a point where the team support, I've never seen it that bad in my entire life. And we went 0-12 when I was in middle school.
Yeah, man, that's wild. And then can I ask you this? This is unique.
Ty Willingham.
Yeah, Ty Willing. Yeah, there's a little overlap for both of us there.
Exactly.
I call it the Ty Willingham golf tour of the Midwest when he was coaching at Notre Dame. Man, that guy loved the golf a lot more than to recruit. I'll tell you that. Let me ask you this,
man. And then I guess he just switched when he got to Seattle. I love to golf more than I love to coach, and then I'm gonna luckily get Jermaine Kearse and these guys that to stay home, and Stark's gonna get all the credit when he comes in.
Yeah. What do you make of the Pac-12 and all the changes and kind of dissolving and some teams going to the Big Ten? What do you make of all that, man? You're an old school Pac-12 guy. Does that hurt your heart a little bit?
Yeah. It's insane, but to be fair, it's almost like spoils to the riches right now and how I feel, because it's being UW or USC, people don't know that Oregon's this kind of new brand, but it's always been UW and USC, and then a little bit of UCLA sometimes.
Yeah.
And Cal.
Yeah.
But as the power, and you probably know this kind of as Notre Dame, just like Michigan and Ohio State and Penn State for the Big Ten, or Bama and Georgia. It's a good place to be in of security. But I also feel that there's so much change going on with NIL and the whole landscape of football. Mm-hmm. And not just the Pac-12, but what conference realignment has been, with Texas A&M opening things up, and Johnny Manziel, Von Miller, Myles Garrett blowing the doors open for them. And now they're at a problem again. But like, I think in like 8 years or 10 years, when these TV contracts kind of get settled and this Big Ten makes this super conference, as the SEC adds Oklahoma and Texas, I think they're going to reset and have it's not going to be the Pac-10 again. But I think, and David Shaw was on a podcast actually talking about this, how he thinks that reset is inevitable in almost a way of then professionalizing the playoff format. You know, it's going to be 12 teams, and it's going to almost be like baseball, where you have the AL West of maybe 8 or 10 teams that are Big Ten worthy, or whatever you want to call it. Right?
Yeah.
And then the sub level of that, of maybe San Diego State and Stanford, if Stanford doesn't care about football.
Yeah.
I will answer your question as someone who went to Stanford earlier this year. That was the week after the Colorado game. So they were on a complete high. And UW came in having the flu. And they played that game like their Super Bowl. And there were still maybe tops 10, 15,000 people there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be dead.
Yeah. And it's a holiday weekend. So like you have that part of it where everybody's gone anyway. It's going to be sleepy. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't know, but
I heard the last caller try to like find some angles, and I was like,
it's hard.
Even Cal will randomly have a game like that. And then the next week they'll pack it, and then there'll be a random protest in the second quarter.
Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get. Yeah. And then you know what else is on my mind? I've been reading these news articles about there's a lot of ADs that think within a handful of years, the revenue model is going to be one of shared revenue between all these conferences, all their TV money, and the players. And a lot of these ADs think that is going to be the future, whether they want it or not. Legally, the court systems, they think, may force a revenue share between all those players and the Pac-5, the Power 5, or whatever the power structure remains. Kind of the haves that are getting those big TV deals would have a revenue split with those players. That's kind of a big deal for Notre Dame, though. Kind of a big deal for Notre Dame, though, because
oh yeah,
we might end up just hopping in the Big Ten at that point, because if you're out of that structure, you're never going to get any good player again, because you're not going to be able to pay them. And what kid's going to want to go get the hell beat out of them and not make that revenue share? That is on that is on my radar. if that comes down,
Exactly.
Notre Dame's jumping in the Big Ten, then there's not a damn thing anybody can do about it. There's no other way. You either got to get in that game or you're never going to compete again. So I don't like it,
Yeah,
but that's the way we're trending.
And that's exactly what I saw, and not necessarily from your big. You bring up a great point, but I go, wait, Clemson's doing a Disney Plus thing. Wait, the SEC, which just launched their own network, is adding Texas and Oklahoma, where Texas has their own ESPN network that competes with the SEC network. That then you see the Big Ten network go and get USC and UW, and you go, okay, this is a competition. This is an arms race for just what you just broke it down perfectly, and that I did in the haves and have not.
Yeah.
Or have not. In what I think that's where the realignment's going to be in conferences coming back, or the Big Ten really doesn't become the Big Ten, and it's called the Big Plus, and it's 20 teams or 25 teams.
It's already funny to me, man. It's like, oh, the Big Ten. And you think of all these, like when I grew up, it was kind of geographic and it was neat in a way. Now the Big Ten's coast to coast, man.
Yeah.
It's coast to coast, baby. We're going northwest all the way across to Rutgers.
And
you know what I mean? Like, whatever.
Teams. At one point, there was 15 teams in the Big Ten, and then there was only 10 teams in the Big 12. The reason they're named Big 12 and Big 10 is because they had 12 teams in the friggin' conference, and then Nebraska and Missouri left. So this has been a thing that I think has been sped up by the professionalism the sport is taking on with NIL that is on part on the NCAA for just not addressing and waiting till it got to the Supreme Court and letting it become this wild west.
Yeah, they did.
Notre Dame has the right guy recruiting wise, but your point to the TV money and where players want to go. Robert Griffin III brought it up to Michael Penix on their podcast interview just after the Oregon win, which Penix's answer was awesome because he's like, dude, I'm a senior. I don't give a shit. But his big aha moment was saying these TV contracts are going to influence recruiting, because once that conference says we believe players deserve a piece of this pie, then as a player, I have to go to one of those conferences.
Exactly. So
you're going to,
it's the ultimate haves and that it's the ultimate dividing line of the haves and the have-nots. And it's going to create a permanent subdivision where there's no competitive overlap, in my opinion. And that ties into Notre Dame's TV contract. They just announced an extension with NBC through 29, but no details have been released. I didn't get any numbers. I didn't get any contingency plans. As
the Big Ten is doing a peacock deal.
And I ain't no dummy. I wasn't born yesterday in Notre Dame.
Exactly.
Like, when I hear that it's a 5-year deal, but I don't get any details. I don't get the financials. I don't hear any contingency plans should things shift with the playoffs or whatever.
Or even ballpark.
It's on my mind.
I remember signing.
It's on my radar.
You get a ballpark. Yeah.
That's
awesome.
That is on my radar.
Love your passion, and while I'm getting ready to go up to a 12-0 rivalry game, then go to a 13-0 rivalry game, I want you to remember that I was in this pain of 4-8 and wanting to give up on the program in 2021 in a dark time in life too. That was the cool thing about going up this year. My dad's family is all from the Tacoma area and whatnot, and my grandma, the matriarch, because they had 10 kids, 28 grandkids, she passed, and that was I hadn't even crossed the Columbia River to go to a game until I went to UW Oregon. It was a real spiritual moment. I'm sure you've had those games at Notre Dame, some special games where it feels like the stars are aligned.
I'd like to have more of them.
All day.
Let me answer it this way. I've been at a lot of games that start out feeling that way, but most of them don't end that way by the end. That's my answer. I've been
I was fighting that the whole time.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of those moments where it all felt right, like you're saying, but it didn't end up right. That's my experience. Hey man, I really appreciate you calling. This is a unique perspective. I usually don't get a lot of action from out west. I really appreciate the insight, man. Call again sometime.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate the opportunity and the conversation as well, because I love hearing the different perspective, but I love kind of putting a different hat on and saying, if I was a Notre Dame fan, or if that and whatnot, and also to the first time in my life I've ever probably lent support to a Notre Dame Fighting Irish fan. So that shows you how
I'm glad
good
I
of a
broke
job
you.
you're doing.
Yeah, I'm glad I broke through that ice, man. I'll take what I could get. We need the push. Oh man. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of the season, my friend. Save the number. Call me again. Good call. Thank you.
You too. Appreciate it, John. You're the man.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy. Telling you, man, I got nice people that call in here, but I like branching out like that and hitting different people. I got a 309 is going to be the next coming up. 309-838 is going to be the next one. Let me get a couple chats in. I don't want to get too far behind. Turner Young with the $5 holler. All-time amazing moment. Catch live on here early on the West Coast. You make the best diehard fan content ever, my man. Keep up the hard work and passion. I really appreciate that, man. It's weird when you're doing this. You go through these phases and there's like a normal group of names you're used to knowing and recognizing, and then new people pop up and people come in and come back out. I'm glad to have you here, Turner. I really appreciate it. Sloppy Joe. I know how you kids like them extra sloppy for yous. ND fans, remember, does anybody get that reference from Billy Madison? It's just the odd, funny stuff in that movie, like that old creepy lunch lady. I know how you kids like them extra sloppy for you. It's like, come on. No, I know somebody's got to remember that movie and that scene and why it's funny to me. You're scaring us, lady. Oh, I need to grow up. It's never going to happen. If I haven't grown up by now, and I don't think that's funny, it's never going to happen. ND fans remember BK's final 5 years, but forget the first 7. They expect Freeman to go undefeated, blow out everybody with the natty, and get 22 5-star recruits. I get what you're saying. I've brought that up as well. Also, the schedules are way harder now than most of what Kelly had to go through. Here's the pushback you're going to get, Sloppy Joe. I'm a fair guy. Everybody knows I don't like Kelly, but I'm fair. Everybody knows I don't like Kelly, but I'm fair. Here's my comeback to that. If I was in the protecting Kelly camp, I would say, what Kelly inherited was in a way worse place than what Freeman inherited. That's true. Kelly had more infrastructure he had to build out and do a bunch of that work to dig Notre Dame out of where it was. So I do agree. Kelly had a harder job when he first took it because of where the program was at in such a bad, dire spot. Freeman inherited a program in a much, much better spot overall. Also, Freeman's going through it, man. All those learning curve, all the learning pains. He's got to do it in the bright lights. Every decision or mistake he makes, we all see it, and you can't get away with anything. Your entire trial and error learning period of being a first-time guy, it's all public. It's all under the bright Notre Dame lights. You don't get away with anything, man. Any little thing, everybody's going to grab onto. That's just the reality of his situation being in Notre Dame. He was our coach over a decade. He'll always be talked about. Yeah, I mean, hey, Brian Kelly did a lot of good things for Notre Dame. He really did. He provided some stability, helped get that infrastructure going. Notre Dame was behind in a lot of training areas. He got a lot of that more up to speed. Kelly, I'm not going to say Kelly didn't do anything good for Notre Dame. Kelly did a lot of good for Notre Dame. And then he just hit a level. It was never going to be better than. And then he turned into more of a jerk every time you talk to him. And then you part ways. Sorry. Dr. John, it is what it was. John, are you channeling Yogi Berra? Yeah, I got a lot of that in me. His one-offs were, there is nothing like that guy's one-offs. It is what it was. Yeah, perfect. See, this is hard. Marcus is learning on the job. Patience, boys, patience. If he ultimately fails, it won't be because he's golfing. Yeah, I can guarantee you that. You know what? I'm glad you bring that up. I've said this before as well. If I felt like Kelly worked his ass off, treated people the right way, and recruited and worked his ass off, and did everything he could, and then he doesn't win enough games, and then he leaves, I do not feel the way I feel about him. I do not speak about him the way I speak about him now. If it was just he was a really nice guy and worked his ass off and we didn't get over the hump, I don't have the vitriol towards him that I have. But it's when you start treating people like shit, and I know for a 100% fact you're not recruiting hard enough, unacceptable. Like, no, you're done to me. I can't respect that. When I know there's meat left on the recruiting bone, no. If all the effort was there and you just don't get over the hump, I could deal with that. But when I know you're not putting us in the position to even field the best team that we can field to give us a chance, then you're done to me, dude. You're done to me. You are done. Turner. Notre Dame can't keep up with LSU's athletes, and it all depends on how invested their players are into wanting to win that bowl game, and it comes down to simply if they care or not. The LSU game would be the most intriguing matchup this year. LSU is all offense, no defense. Notre Dame is all defense, no offense against anyone with the pulse. Save it. Oh, John, they're averaging almost 40 a game against any team with real athletes. It goes down to 19. Check yourself before we all wreck ourselves. Super frustrating to be looking at 38 or 40 points average and you have 3 losses, bro. That ain't even the real world. That ain't right. I said this the other day. There's 5 teams in college football entering this weekend that are in the top 14 in points per game, both on the offense and the defensive side. There's 5 of them that are ranked 14th or better. Notre Dame's one of them. They're the only one that has more than 1 loss. All the other teams, undefeated, 1 loss, playoff position. Notre Dame is the only outlier that has 3. What does that tell you? What can you learn from that? I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know. So I'm asking. I don't know. 309, I'm coming to you. Tell me about it. Bama, Charlie. Mr. John, Indy will beat Stanford with ease, but your problem is, can the team get out of get out before the California weirdness sticks to them? I don't know, man. I'm just a regular dude out here I don't know, understand the California. It ain't for me. I've been out there a couple times. One of them, I almost died. Maybe that's why I have something against California. Might have been my last trip to California. I almost died in the ocean. Don't get me started on that story. I almost literally died. I almost drowned. I almost got eaten by a shark. Long story. I'm not exaggerating. I thought I was going to die. There was a moment I looked up at the sky. I said, this is going to be it, huh? I literally almost died out there. So maybe that's a part of it. But get in there, win, get out of there before the weirdness takes over. I'm with you. I don't know, you guys. Wellington. Kelly's last 4 years, he makes the playoffs in the new 12-team format. Let's pray Freeman knows what he's doing. I don't see it this so far. I don't care anything about recruiting rankings. Ask Texas A&M. I mean, you got to care something about it. It is the engine that drives your team. You don't win anything without it. You got to care to some extent about recruiting. It's the nuts and bolts. It's the muscular system of your team. It's the heartbeat. It's the backbone. You need it. Kelly's last 4. Okay, so you're taking his record in the last 4 years and then saying it would have him in a 12-team playoff. I understand that. I'm not saying Kelly didn't win any games, but man, that guy got lucky with schedules too. Look at you're playing Ohio State this year. Louisville's playing for a conference championship. USC was undefeated when you played them. Clemson was down, but you knew they had some talent at a top-level coach. Meanwhile, Kelly's toughest game his last year was Cincinnati at home, and he couldn't do it. They're not even in the same world in terms of strength of schedule and difficulty of navigation level. Literally, I can't believe it. Kelly's biggest game his last year, Cincinnati at home, couldn't do it. Couldn't beat him. It's unbelievable. That was his toughest game. Not Ohio State, no. Cincinnati. Whoa, is it at least at home and you couldn't win it? Get out. I can't handle it. I can't do it. 309, you're up on the line. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, John? Hope you had a good Thanksgiving, buddy.
Oh, thank you very much. Low key, nothing wild. And I'm ready to watch some football. This is going to be a big weekend. We got college and pro ball out the wazoo. Yeah. I'm excited for it, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited. Definitely. I'm going to go hit some balls at the range and watch the Ohio State-Michigan game on Saturday.
That's beautiful. I like that, man. I like that. You ever play old Prairie Vista out there?
Oh, yeah. Prairie Vista, play the Den, go over to Peoria and play a great course, Weaver Ridge over there.
Yeah. We did our state championship for high school was at Prairie Vista. And then I think the ISU courses were where like the regionals were. And then, but I'll never forget the state championship was always at Prairie Vista. And man, that was a big deal. I loved it. I loved the build up, the feel of it. It was a challenging course in good shape. I liked it.
Yeah. I live right next to the ISU course. So yeah, if you ever come downstate, let's grab a beer and talk some Irish ball and play some golf.
Dude, I would love it. I'm kind of familiar with those courses just from that period of my life. Enough about golf. What about football? What's on your mind, man?
Well, hey, I know you might have already touched on this, but I'm sure you saw that the 30-year anniversary, the director's cut of Rudy that came out.
Yep.
I mean, how about that deleted scene where, they're in the cafeteria and the dad's explaining the importance of Notre Dame and what it really means to the Irish? I mean, how could they cut that scene out? That was incredible.
I posted a video on Patreon about that because it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I did like a really nice, I wanted to do it on Patreon and add a couple little extra things to it behind the paywall and all that. And I showed that to my family yesterday at Thanksgiving. And I told my dad, I said, you got to see this shit. And he goes, what? And I go, watch this deleted Rudy scene. Tell me what you think. And he watches it. And he goes, how could you not have that in the movie? It's the most important part of the movie because it explains why this means what it does to everybody. How do you cut that?
Exactly.
It explains the entire fanhood of all these Subway alumni, people where everybody else can't understand why we feel that way.
Yeah.
It was the best scene in the whole damn movie. And the way he just said, A victory by Notre Dame's a victory for us. And then the girl says, but poor Catholic kids can't even get in there. And he says, in your heart, it's all the same. How do you cut that scene? How do you cut that scene?
Yeah, it explains the heart. Like you said, explain the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I couldn't believe that they didn't have that in, but it is so perfect. It so perfectly sums up the feeling of how so many of these Notre Dame families feel, and it gets passed on, and the intensity's still there. And it was the perfect encapsulation of all of those feelings that all those families have spread out all over the country and the world. They should have left it in. Somebody needed to say, this is the linchpin of the whole thesis of the movie, because it explains why this is. I loved it.
Right. It's like cutting the crucifixion scene out of the Passion of the Christ movie. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, like I don't know, it's kind of important to the story, you know? Like I just so it was nice to be able to see it though. And it I mean, it'll almost make you tear up if you're in the right frame of mind and you sit there and really think about what it means, and then think about, you know, if you had grandparents and what they went through, and then the generation before them coming here and all those struggles. Like, it's a heavy thing if you let it be a heavy thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It was I'm not trying to make it bigger than it is, but I'm just telling you, like, you could get in your own heart and mind heartstrings on that one.
Absolutely. I sent it to my wife and said, you want to know why this video best explains why I go so crazy on Saturday.
And just the whole a victory for Notre Dame's a victory for us thing sticks with me. And you know what that also means though, man? A loss for Notre Dame is a loss for us too. And that is important. That swings both ways, not only on the plus side, but when we lose, I feel like a loser. I'm walking out of the house miserable with my head down. It reflects on all of us. You could say that's crazy. Grow up. I don't care. I wear what Notre Dame does on the football field like a badge all over town, good or bad.
Exactly. I think that video, just perfectly summarized, what the Notre Dame fans have always felt, and then it put it into words.
Yeah, I just thought it was perfect, and I'm very disappointed it didn't make it, because I just thought the explanation of all this was a really important piece to the narrative of that movie for everybody to understand that isn't in that Subway alumni circle to get it. So I don't know, man. I loved it. You got any nerves about sleepy old Palo Alto? What are we going to get tomorrow night? You have any idea? What the hell are we going to get?
No, well, I just had to do a free trial for Fubo TV just to even watch the damn game, because it's on the freaking Pac-12 network. Nobody's gonna be watching it. I don't have any nerves about. I think I called him up to a voicemail the other day where I'm like, the only thing that gives me any juice for the rest of the season is a matchup with LSU in a bowl game. I mean, even if we get Tennessee, that might be a fun bowl matchup. It's an SEC team. Let's beat another SEC team in a bowl game. That'd be fun. But I mean, I think we could sleepwalk through Stanford and still win by 10. I just think that they're
down and out.
Their offense
just
is
down
not
and really out. Yeah, they're down and really out. And I at least used to have like not liking Shaw's little grin on his face to motivate me. I don't even have that juice. I don't even have the Shaw smirk anymore to get mad at, man. I'm running out of Stanford juice.
Yeah. I mean, this used to be one of my favorite games to look forward to, was the Stanford matchup. But I mean, these last 5 years, that's completely gone down the tank. I just really don't even care anymore.
Hey, you know what, man? Do you remember younger Notre Dame fans that are like in their mid-20s or out of like college or whatever? I don't think they're going to remember. There was a while there in the not so long ago future, Stanford was a problem for Notre Dame. Remember the Andrew Luck years and Christian McCaffrey?
Oh, yeah.
And they had those monster tight ends that looked like Amazon men that were 6'9", and they had multiple of them. And then there was even a couple O-line recruits and tight ends that picked them over us for the smart football school. People need to realize not that long ago, Stanford was a big thorn in Notre Dame's side. For real.
Yeah, they were a dragon that we had to slay, and we did. The last several years. I mean, the 2018 game was a fun one to watch. Picking them apart. That was a fun game. The 2012 game, the Stanford goal line stop. That'll be one of my favorite Notre Dame moments of all time.
Yeah, that was. I've said this before. I've never been so happy and willing to be freezing cold and soaking wet as I was that night. It was totally worth it. Like the weather was horrible, but I will never. And it worked out, man. Bush push. I ended up on that goal line. Like my seats were in that right there where that happened. And then for the Stanford 2012, I was on that side and was right there for that one. Like I just, it was totally worth it that night. Cold and miserable? No way, man. We celebrated that one.
Yep. Yeah, I think I could see. I mean, I think the line is something like 28 points.
Oh, my God. I saw 25.5 or something. Did it really get up that high already?
I think I saw. I might be mistaken. But either way, it's going to be – I think Notre Dame's going to walk through it, and then we'll head into bowl season. I am a little worried about, how many people we might be losing in the transfer portal and guys leaving early. Like, I really don't want Fisher to leave early. I don't want Watts to leave early. I want these guys to come back.
Dude, Fisher needs another year. He did not have the year anybody thought he was going to have. I already think it's kind of a done deal that unless I'm wrong, everybody I'm reading and hearing is speaking as though he's coming back. He needs another year.
I'm seeing smoke that he's a for sure thing gone.
Fisher?
I'm seeing smoke from, certain
outlets
that he's
he
not
didn't have an alt year. He didn't have an alt year. Come on. I was banking that he was coming back, and then at least you have one of your tackles is coming back. Come on, man.
I mean, you would hope. He could probably bump over to left tackle and make good NIL money, but I'm seeing smoke that he's going to go.
I was not operating under that assumption. I genuinely wasn't. Like I just wasn't. That's a little weird to me. And and then that's another problem for Notre Dame to figure out. Like, I don't know, man, but I thought he needs another year, kind of. Let's go. Come on. He didn't have that good of a year. Right.
What are your thoughts? Speaking of the offseason, getting the bowl season, do you want, like, as a fan, do you want to go up against LSU, or do you want nothing to do with Kelly and you want to do another bowl game against somebody else?
Here's my answer. I would love to play Kelly, but with elite on the line, not 3 losses or 4. I have no interest in playing Kelly in a mid-off. I want to play Kelly in a playoff game where Kelly has his new team at the edge of elite and Freeman has his new team at the edge of elite, and we battle it out to see who gets over the top. I really don't have an interest in playing Kelly to see who's less bad or less average. That doesn't exactly do as much for me. And it's all going to be weird because is his quarterback even going to play? Like, that's the other thing. Who's going to play? Daniels isn't going to play in that game. He wants to go to the NFL if it ain't a playoff game. So you're not even going to get a pure test of all this because of that. So I want Kelly, but I want it where we're debating over which team's going to be elite.
So you're like this. You'd prefer to play like a Tennessee?
Sure. I just don't want to do the Kelly thing when there's not a lot on the line. I think that's a waste of that matchup and all the juice. I want that to be when both teams are trying to prove themselves in the new playoff, and both teams have reasons to be like, we're elite and we're going to beat you and prove it. This just doesn't have that juice. Also, this is not a compliment to Kelly. It's a knock on us. I have no confidence Notre Dame would beat LSU in a bowl game this year. Are you out of your mind? I just can't. And it's not because I think the world of Kelly. It's because I don't trust what we do. Big difference.
I think that's where I think that's where I would push back against what you're saying, though, and say I actually would have a lot of confidence in a bowl game against LSU this year because the Al Golden defense against a backup LSU quarterback, I would have a lot of confidence in that game.
That's one of the best scoring offenses in America. Like, I'm worried that they
would. Now with Jaden Daniels, it's not.
Well, who they got then? Nussmeier, right? The Nuss bus.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the other side of it. Let me tell you this. Here's the other side of it. Somebody's saying, so John is scared. That's pathetic. I don't have confidence that I could trust Notre Dame right now. Like, I don't understand why that's controversial.
You can trust the defense.
Well, fine, but I need both of them out there to win. Even against LSU's horrible statistical defense, I have major doubts Notre Dame would be able to score enough to win that game. And I mean that. And again, it is not a compliment to Kelly. It's a knock on where we're at. Even against their terrible defense, I have doubts that Notre Dame would score enough to win that game against their athletes. I know they play bad as a group. I just don't trust Notre Dame's offense against anybody who has any talent at all. I don't.
Well, what about, would you say that LSU's defense and USC's defense are at least comparable?
Oh my God, dude. I would hope LSU's defense is better than theirs. That USC one's really bad. I would feel like LSU has more athletes for some reason. That's what I would think. I don't know.
Yeah. I just think that if they get an LSU bowl matchup and Jaden Daniels opts out and their wide receivers opt out, all this stuff, like I have confidence that the defense would show up. You could get a pick six, you could get a Morrison pick six, you could get a Watts pick six.
Yeah.
Offense would do just enough to where they would beat LSU. Yeah. I would be pretty confident in that.
And the other thing is, as somebody put this in the chat too, how many of those USC points were scored off defense and short fields and all the other stuff that kind of set them up? But there's no doubt a Brian Kelly matchup would be media galore. If there's any way to line it up, the TV execs are going to do it because it's going to be a media heavy thing. Here's the other thing to consider. If Daniels didn't play and then Notre Dame still lost, then you're in a real bad spot, dude. Then you're really dead. Yeah. There's no way to make that one feel better. If the starting quarterback doesn't play and you lost to the backup, bro, that's a really bad look.
I agree. I just think that having an LSU bowl matchup is the only thing that would give the rest of this year any juice for me. I really don't care about beating another mid-tier SEC team or whoever else the bowl matchup would be. It really wouldn't do anything for me. The only thing that's going to give the rest of the season some juice is an LSU bowl game.
Yeah. No, it would definitely give juice and it would have a lot of buildup. I just want it to be in a bigger moment, I guess.
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody asked me if I trust Freeman. Not right now. It's an ongoing journey. He's not a complete product. I don't fully trust him any more than he probably fully trusts himself as he navigates through learning how to do this. It's not a knock on him. Who fully trusts somebody who just starts a new job or something? Like, you got to build into it and build some of that up. I don't even think that's necessarily a shot against him. I shouldn't be able to trust Freeman fully after 2 years. He's not a finished product. So, no, I can't fully trust him. He hasn't proven that he's earned that. I'm trying to be as honest as I can be. I don't know. Maybe I'm the crazy one.
Yeah. And I also wanted to hear your thoughts too on the potential of Riley Leonard. Do you think he would be a quality quarterback if we were to get him next year, or is he just more of a runner?
I see the name out there. I think that's a guy that competes with the other guys, not a guy that comes in and it's like Hartman, where it's like, you're kind of going to have the job. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's going to be that guy that's going to be like the guy. And so it'll be another guy to compete in that room. And I don't know, man. I'm excited to get to the car night era and see what we're working with there, but we're still a ways away.
Yeah, and hopefully we have some competent wide receivers by that time.
Yeah, well, it'd be a good dream, wouldn't it? Imagine that.
That'd be great.
Imagine that. So I don't know, man. This is going to be really interesting. I want to get down there and golf with you, man. Maybe I'll do that in the spring or something when we get out of the cold weather. Be a good way to unwind and not think about football and just get mad at golf instead.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do it. I got a great Irish pub we can hit up.
Dude, I like the sound of that, man. I miss golf. Once I started doing this to this extent, the golf clubs aren't getting as much use. I need to really get back into it. I enjoyed it, was pretty good at it when I was playing a lot.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, hey, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen in spring and have a good rest of your weekend. Watch some football.
Beautiful. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking heat on some of this. I don't know what. No, I don't have full trust in Marcus Freeman. He hasn't earned that from me. Neither did Brian Kelly, though. Like, if you're going to ask, do I trust Freeman? Why don't you ask me if I ever trusted Kelly? Not for 1 minute ever. Like, my trust is hard to come by. You got to win shit that matters for me to trust you. You got to win the biggest things that matter for me to trust you. Kelly never did it. Kelly never earned that trust from me. Are you out your mind? Bell peppers. People were talking to me about we need to get John some, like, down south, have some soul food, something with a little flavor. Dude, what are you going to make me wear a diaper around town? I'm going to have an explosion. I don't eat all them spices and shit. You're going to cause me to have a major problem in public, bro. I never understood that. It's like, you deserve heat for your LSU take. No, I don't. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't trust Notre Dame to win that game. I don't understand why that's controversial. I don't trust Notre Dame to win that game. Oh, what are you saying then? Freeman doesn't have this where it needs to be? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you. That's exactly what I'm telling you. I do not trust Notre Dame to win that game. Could they? Sure. Should they? Probably. I don't trust them to. Those are different things. I don't trust them to win that game. I don't. Sorry. We got the hot sauces ready. I never, oh man. I never understood when we'd go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or something. And all these, dude, you guys are dumb. You're seriously pissing me off by being stupid. Kelly is not great and elite. Notre Dame and Freeman are not great and elite. I don't have to pick one or the other. Neither one of them are good enough right now. Why is that hard to get? It isn't one's great, one has to be bad. That's not what this is. Freeman doesn't have Notre Dame where they should be. I don't trust him right now in a big moment. He hasn't earned that. Kelly never earned it and still doesn't have it. What is hard to figure out about that? You guys are so black and white. It's so easy to sit there and type, fucking type. You're making me, my light fell down. You're trying to make me make one guy 100 and one a 0. The reality is both of them don't have anything good enough. Kelly never had Notre Dame good enough. Freeman doesn't have them good enough now. I'm not letting you make me pick. One is great, one is terrible. There's realities that exist in the middle, in the margins. Oh, John, you talk shit all year. Yeah, I talk shit. I don't like Kelly. I don't like Kelly. I don't respect Brian Kelly as a person. Of course I talk shit all year. I want him to fail. I don't like him. He's a jerk, and he didn't win enough at Notre Dame, and he acts like he's accomplished more than he has. I don't respect that. Also, Marcus Freeman needs to tighten his operation up a little quicker. Both exist on the same plane at the same time. All right, now that I got that out, I got to go do something. I got a few callers. I got to go do something, and then I want to watch these football games. Okay? I'm not letting people box me in. Neither one of them make me happy. My new guy doesn't make me happy enough, and the old guy didn't make me happy enough. But at least the new guy treats people the right way and values Notre Dame and tries hard. I respect Marcus Freeman in a way I could never respect Brian Kelly at Notre Dame. How you treat people and your work ethic. Are the results what I wanted? No, they're not. But at least the guy isn't an asshole, and at least I know he's working at it every day, not working on his backswing. Thank you to everybody that called. We had a well-rounded group today, different people. We caught a Pac-12 guy. I love it, man. You guys are great. You guys are great. Everybody that donated. Turner Young, you came in here heavy today, man. What is this? $10, $20, $25 holler from Turner Young. That was a good little situation. I hope you call again. V1 rotate with a $10 holler. I really appreciate you, V1. Last game, even though we almost stroke out, die every week watching ND, that's a part of being an ND fan, and we miss every second of it. I almost think we like it. Dude, you're right. It is a sick, sick addiction. Even if it makes me miserable, I live for it. It fuels me, and I come back for more. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. $20 holler from Eric. If Freeman brings back Parker as OC next year, Freeman is incompetent as a head coach. Even more incompetent than I think of him now. That's going to be a question. The number one question that's going to come up the second this season ends. That's going to come up right away. Right away. Oh, what's my blood pressure? Good to go, baby. I'm totally fine. Oh, finish the B-Dub story. I got off on that because I started yelling. Here's the problem. My buddies, we'd go out to B-Dubs or whatever, and these dudes are getting them wings where you eat one and you're literally like crying and sweating at the table. They're dripping in sweat. They need a rag just to make it through dinner. That ain't even food. How could you sit there and eat? I just don't understand it. They're oh, let me get the extra out. They're crying. They got flames coming out of their eyes. I just want to sit down and eat lunch. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Telling you. All right, everybody, go watch some football. Drink a beer. I need to drink a beer. Relax a little bit. Thank you, everybody that donated, everybody that called, everybody that's here. Watch some football, man. A lot of games today, a lot of games tomorrow, NFL stuff. Enjoy it. I'll talk to you guys. See ya.